Hello, thank you for joining me and welcome to TV Bakwetu. I know that it's about 21 hours in Chwempala, as well as the rest of Central Africa. Here in Calgary, Alberta, it's 1 p.m. It's 13 hours. Thank you for joining us. A lot to get to today, so I am going to let you send messages to as many people as possible. Let them know that TV Bakwetu is on, and Mr. Norman Chipakwaku is just in the background waiting the numbers to go up a little bit, and then we are going to come back again. I know that I know that we've got to work on our tech today for some reason. Somebody saying that there is a lot of echo and sound and network and things like that. We'll try and see how that improves. Okay, in the meantime, while it's improving, please share this with as many people as possible while we are still trying to work on our technical difficulties. While we are working on our technical difficulties, share with as many people as possible. Let's get numbers to where we need them to be. Let's get to where we need to be. All right. Let's get to where the numbers need to be. Let's see, we're okay there. All right. Has the sound improved? Sound no proper sounds, Baba. Sound. Tonight it appears like, are we being sabotaged? Are we being sabotaged by, we don't know, right? I think it's just the sound. We're going to correct it. We do have a good mic here, and that should not be an issue at all. So we are going to see how it goes. We're going to see how that goes. Okay. Yeah, we are doing very well. Let's see on the network what we do about it. You know, that's the risk that we face on this TV, right? The fact that we may not have the best network. Anyway, I'm going to bring in Mr. Chipakwaku. Mr. Chipakwaku, Mr. Norman Chipakwaku, welcome.
Good evening, Chwempala. Good evening, Chipata, and good evening to our viewers all over the world. The sound is not very good, but all the same, we'll try our best. And how are you doing, Munsha? We've had a glorious day here in Scotland today.
All right. Now, I don't know whether we should restart the broadcast, but it does appear like we are experiencing very bad broadcast here. I want to change something, General. Just be on standby here.
That's okay, Musha. That's okay. I only hope that Lulu has not sabotaged, the Lulu team has not sabotaged our broadcast. So let's try and work on the technical problems and see whether we can come back.
Yeah, we've come back. Is it any better?
That's much better. That's much better. And I hope it's better for our viewers as well.
All right. Now, is it better for the rest? Please give us feedback because we are going to get started here. Yeah, let's see. No, it appears to be quite bad. It appears to be quite bad. Okay, but I can get you just fine. Can you get me, General?
I can get you loud and clear, Munsha. I was just saying to our viewers, I hope the Lulu team has not sabotaged our network today.
Do you think they can reach Canada as well and sabotage our network from here?
Well, you never know. They never know. Our friends are working with the Chinese. The Chinese, if they can get into White House, they can do anything.
I don't believe you, General. I don't believe you. I don't think so. I think we are just fine. Now, General, I'm very, very concerned. Okay? Because I'm wondering whether there is self-sabotage going on in the Patriotic Front government. Because I don't see how I don't see how so many confusion can be happening to a government like this. Is it just because this government has bad advisors? What is going on, General? Please tell me.
Musha, I don't believe in witchcraft. But I think CR1, what CR1 has been saying, I don't know who this guy is. I think there's so much confusion in PF. It's like they are shooting themselves in the foot every day.
Right.
And the further we get towards the election day, I can see more chaos and more confusion. And it's like they're firefighting everywhere. And I was monitoring over the weekend their programs, their people on the radios and television. It's like they are now not sure what is going to happen. Right. There's confusion in PF. I mean, yesterday in Boacha, in Kabwe, the whole ward of PF, the whole ward, and all the branches saying, no, we're moving to UPND.
Right.
And this chaos of the prisoners being given vacational leave, this chaos over Resident Doctors Association, there's confusion everywhere.
Right. And so for me, I also don't believe that somebody can cast a spell on an entire government. But surely the way they are behaving, it gives you that pause to say, you see, this is not normal. It is not normal way of governing. There is something terribly wrong going on. Confusion. Okay. Now, General, let's deal with the prisoners first of all, right? So there's been a law under our books for a very long time, since the 60s. So this law tries to give the president some residual powers. So Kaunda had it, Chiluba had it, Mwanawasa had it. So these are residual powers. First of all, there is power to pardon, power to put on parole, and all those other things. But there is also some power to try and give what is known as a license to a life prisoner. Now, that is not used at all. That power, no president has ever used it. It's the power that is in our books. But no president has ever used it. No president has even claimed to have that power. Kaunda, Chiluba, Mwanawasa, Rupia Banda, Michael Sata. It never happened that way. However, last week, General, the Commissioner General of Zambia Correctional Service, his name is Dr. Chisela Chileshe. Dr. Chisela Chileshe. He decided that he was going to make this wonderful announcement to the people of Zambia. General, I want to know, did we force Dr. Chileshe to make this grandiose announcement?
To me, the timing smells a big rat. And we are going into an election. For the first time, we're going to have prisoners voting. And we all of a sudden are told that 9 people were murdered and we were not told.
Right.
And this can't be coincidence. And all of a sudden, the Commissioner General decides that is going to make the president use the powers to give prisoners leave. To me, it doesn't seem to be coincidence there. It looks like everything is meant to happen for a reason. The timing is wrong. Why now? Why now? Why now?
Right. That's one of the surprises. Now, they've issued a follow-up statement to what the Commissioner General said. Now, the Commissioner General was very clear when he was making the announcement. He said President Lungu has signed an updated piece of legislation that gives people, the prisoners, the right to vote, first of all, so updated Corrections Act. Secondly, that gives the right of some prisoners to receive a special license. And then he even went further and mentioned those people who are serving life sentences from his own mouth, General. This is not something that the Zambian people are just making up. It was from his own mouth that he said that you people that are on life sentence, you shouldn't worry too much because President Lungu, being a caring president, has you covered as well.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Or in Scotland, we would say, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And, you know, why this president has been in power for 7 years? Why today?
No. That's one of the surprises. So why today? That's one thing. So today they announced that announcement. Now, there is a lot of pushback against it. Everybody says you can't do this. So now they say, oh, this law has always been there. If this law has always been there, why is it just being announced now? Right? Why is Dr. Chisela Chileshe? The problem, General, that I see is that Dr. Chisela Chileshe is not a professional. He's not.
No, he's not. From his statements, Dr. Chisela Chileshe or Chisela, whatever his name is, I had a very close friend of mine who was once Commissioner General. And this guy was very, very professional.
Right.
And this guy was very professional.
Right.
This man, to me, sounds like a cadre. Yeah. I don't know his background, but all his statements seem to be political statements.
Right.
And from the people who have worked in the prisons, in these correctional services or prison services before, they're telling me that this is one of the worst commissioners generals they've ever had.
Right. Yeah.
All these statements are political.
Right.
And the timing is wrong.
Right.
Why now?
Right.
Why during 3 months before elections?
Right.
Why has the president decided to use these powers when he has been in power for 7 years?
And now, today's statement, General, they are saying that no, President Lungu is actually not going to use this power. That's what they are saying. So they are retracting what they said.
Yeah,
who comes up with this confusion?
They've retracted what they've said is because they've seen the reaction not only from even from the PF cadres.
Right.
We have recordings, audios of the PF cadres. One woman was saying, what is our president thinking?
Right.
You wake up in the morning, you'll be looking left and right. You'll not know who's following you, whether it's a prisoner, a former prisoner, or a prisoner now. We want to know what's happening. What is happening? This is one lady, PF member.
Right.
Saying this is ill-timed, it's wrong, and it's going to give a lot of anxiety among the citizens.
Right.
We are going for elections. Imagine 4 people are murdered in one day.
Right.
When they've released these prisoners. only 2 weeks or 1 week before elections. Are you telling me, Munsha, that people would be going to vote?
No.
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 So I don't know who is advising President Lungu.
Do you think it's the issue of advisors? Because we always go back to this issue. No, it's advisors. No, it's advisors. Is the issue with advisors?
No, it's not the issue with advisors. I think President Lungu is incompetent. President Lungu is. I served under Kenneth Kaunda, and I saw FTJ. I saw Manawasa. Right. I saw my uncle Arabi as president. Right. I saw 3 years of SATA. This is the worst president we've had so far.
Right. Yeah, I think I agree with you, because there is so much inefficiency, clear, basic, elementary inefficiency that is very surprising. Now, General, at the same time that Dr. Chisela Chileshe is making an announcement about all this, something is going on at Mukobeko. Several inmates, is it 2 inmates? They come out of Mukobeko and they murder 9 citizens in Kabwe and in Kitwe.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Because this is the issue. These are inmates at Mukobeko. They ran an elaborate scheme of luring female relatives of their fellow inmates to come to Mukobeko, to come to Kitwe. They rape them and then they kill them right in Kabwe. What do you think is going on?
Munsha, if that was in the UK, in Scotland,
right,
I would say there's a serious breach of data protection.
Right.
Where are these 2 prisoners getting the numbers from?
Right.
How did they manage to connect to say we are calling the wife to Mr. X and tell her travel from Kitwe because we want to negotiate a deal for your husband?
Right.
And the poor woman is driven by the husband to Kabwe. She goes to Mukobeko and then she dies. How did they get the numbers of these people?
Right.
How did they manage to get a phone? Were they phoning from inside the prison? Were they phoning from outside the prison? You know, there are a lot of questions here. In a normal country, Dr. Chileshe Chisela would have resigned.
Right.
In a normal country, President Lungu would have issued a statement.
Right.
But you know what? 50 people died from gassing. Mr. Lungu never said anything. He didn't even say, I'm sorry. Never.
No. No.
So 9 people to him, it's nothing. Right. And to me, it's a sign that this president is incompetent. This president doesn't care. This president is up to no good.
Right. Now, what about Dr. Chisela Chileshe himself? So it is under his watch, right? Inmates. And in fact, we are receiving some reports that he's denying. He's saying that he does not have any report that it is his inmates that have committed these murders. But I think he is focused too much on campaigning for the Patriotic Front. He has no time to actually take care of his agency.
Dr. Chileshe or Dr. Chisela Chileshe or Chileshe Chisela is focused on the 13,000 votes in prison. He thinks that 13,000 can give his boss a chance to win.
Right.
What he's forgetting is that the 13,000 voters who are prisoners,
right,
are not going to vote for PF, all of them, because one, their food is bad, their accommodation is bad, and there's no way.
Right.
And at the same time, how can you expect the prisoners to vote for you? Is it because you've announced the leave for them to encourage them to vote for PF? Is that a bribe to them, to the prisoners?
That's right. It appears like Bachisela was so busy, Mamanate, Bachisela was so busy campaigning for PF such that he couldn't see inmates killing citizens.
That Commissioner General should resign, and that Commissioner General should actually be arrested, if possible, for negligence. Because there's no way a prisoner can call a relative. And why are they targeting women? Only women. And I hear one of the women was called from Western Province. Somebody who's on life sentence. His wife is called from Western Province, and it's believed this lady was brought in thinking that they're going to negotiate a deal for her husband. And it's cruel. That's being cruel.
Yeah.
But Musha, to me, we came from a gassing situation.
Right.
Well, first of all, we came from the fires in the markets.
Right.
We followed with gassing.
Mm-hmm.
We followed with the shooting of innocent people, Msama and Joseph Kaunda. We followed with the shooting, that other shooting before that was Lawrence Banda.
Right.
And the president, despite all these things, has never come up to say, Zambians, I've investigated all these things and I'm sorry, there's something not right here. Never.
Right.
Not even one person, I don't know. Who has been charged for gutting? None. Who has been charged for fires which rocked all our markets? None. The person who killed Sama and Joseph Kaunda, have you ever heard of him appearing in court?
No. I had once.
Yeah, what's going on? You heard once. The fellow they showed you on the first day, and the fellow who appeared in court were two different faces. Which one was charged?
Right. Okay. So it's quite surprising to see a government that is self-sabotaging. If President Lungu loses in August, I think he will have himself to blame. I think it is his lack of leadership in moments such as this, because how else would you explain this? This is something else. Now, yes, General, you were about to come in.
Yeah, I think this is one thing which is making Mr. Lungu have sleepless nights. Each day which passes, each hour which passes, the man must be having sleepless nights. And I think he's having nightmares as we talk now. Because each day, which hour which is ticking, which every day which passes is going towards what we call the Waterloo Day, the D-Day.
All right.
The truth is, he's going to lose. And the question is, what is going to happen? All these cases are pointing to one person, the president.
Right. Right. Now, General, I want us to shift gears here. I want to ask you a very direct question. I don't want you to beat around the bush or beat around Scotland. Okay? Or Mumbwa or anything like that. Here's a very direct question. Why should we care about the imprisonment of Miss Kopala Laka? Why should we care about it?
To start with, for me, really, I don't even know who this Kopala Laka is. And I've been hearing people talking about her being imprisoned. But if she's a PF cadre who has got money from the taxpayers' money, I don't care. I really don't care. Because, you know, we've had enough of these games. We've had enough of these games. Why arrest somebody? If there's any problem, why not take somebody to court? I think I'm reaching a point, Munsha, where I think this government is playing games with the lives of people. I don't care who this lady is. I don't care what she has done. If she's a PF cadre and they're playing games, now I don't care. I want Lungu out.
Okay. Now, you want Lungu out. Do you have any words for people like her who are in jail and they're not being given bail or bond?
They always say, if you are a snake charmer, be very careful that your snake might end up biting you. These guys have been praising Lungu, have been praising PF. Here is a situation where now she's in jail. Then if I wear my human rights hat and my Christian hat, I don't want anybody to be mistreated. I don't care whether PF, whether MDC, whether UPND, even Mr. Lungu. I won't want him to be mistreated.
Right.
If this lady has got a problem, if he has committed a crime, let her go to court.
Right.
And the law is very, very clear. It's 48 hours and she must appear in court.
Right. It's been 7 days now.
It's not right. Because whether it's Mubita Nawa, whether it's Tayali, whether it's Mr. Lungu himself, I won't allow him to be in jail for 48 hours without appearing in court.
Right.
As a matter of principle.
Now they're saying that the police is saying that they are still investigating the matter. Does that make sense for you?
Doesn't make any sense. How many times are we going to ask the same question? The law is clear. 48. You cannot investigate when somebody is in detention.
Right.
My understanding of investigation is that you gather information, you gather the evidence. You've got the evidence. That's when you approach the person and say, "Look, we suspect that you committed a crime. We've got all the evidence." That's when you arrest them and charge them.
Right.
You can't use detention as a tool for investigation. I think it's not right.
Right. So apparently it's cyber related. They're saying that she committed a cyber crime against a well-known socialite of Lusaka, and so because of that, they've then arrested her, transferred her from Kitwe to Lusaka, and then they are investigating, and so they can't release her apparently.
I think it's abuse of office. It's abuse of power by the PF government. And I think Mr. Kanganja himself is... Mr. Kanganja is again, the West Inspector General. So we have got the West President with the West Inspector General and the West Commissioner General, 3 of them.
Yeah, yoko ena tuachula. General, I think tuachula sana. Tumechoka mateso. Tuachula.
I think we're in trouble. Our country is in trouble. And every morning I wake up, even at night I wake up and pray that in the next 70-something days, this nightmare must be over.
So we know that the police command do follow TV Bakwetu. What message would you have regarding this woman they've detained for 7 days now?
The message, Munsha, and our viewers, is very clear. Inspector General, release that lady, whatever you call her. She's a Zambian. Whatever she has done, if you've got any case against her, take her to court. I think that's what we said about Tayari. I don't really care about Tayari, but I care about him as a citizen. Right. I don't care about what he says.
Right.
And for Mubita, I made it very, very clear that I watched the video. I saw what happened. Now I was innocent, and he's still innocent. So there was no need to detain him. So this Laka woman, I don't know, whatever she did, she is a Zambian.
Right.
And she's supposed to be released. She's got family. I don't know that's because she's got family, she's got children. She must be released so that she can be charged if she has committed an offense. I am not going to defend somebody committed crime, but I am not going to support anybody who detains people illegally. It's unconstitutional. It's illegal.
Yeah. And the police spokesperson, they lie, okay? Because what they say, whether it's Esther Mwata Katongo, this is what she says. It is just not true that the police have a right to hold any person they want for as long as they want while they are investigating the case. That is a lie.
I don't understand. I'm not sure whether Mwata Katongo is a lawyer.
No, General Tualapsana. General, no, I can't. Don't even go there. General, it does not take to be a lawyer. It does not take one to be a lawyer, General.
But that's what we are told, to say the lawyers are the most intelligent people in our country, and we're supposed to respect them. They are learned people. Is Kanganja a lawyer? If he's a lawyer, he's one of the dullest lawyers I've ever come across. Is Mwata Kazembe a lawyer? The Deputy Inspector General here, she's just qualified as a lawyer. She's got a master's in law. You know, what type of lawyers are these?
No.
I'm not a lawyer.
No.
I'm not
Let's
a lawyer.
not deal with lawyers here. No. General, Mwata Katongo, the police spokesperson, she lies. Now, she doesn't lie because she's a lawyer. She doesn't lie. She's not, I don't think she's a lawyer, but she's a liar. What she's saying, that the police have the right to detain people indefinitely as long as they are investigating a case, is not true.
It's not true. We are not in a state of emergency.
No.
We are not.
No.
So we are not, unless they declare a state of emergency at night without telling Zambians. So they have no right to detain a Zambian as any Zambian.
So then how can there be a break of justice and liberty from all these institutions, correction service, state house, ministries, the police? Because for the police spokesperson to actually stand up and just spew out such lies, these are not simple lies, General.
No, Musha. That's what they say.
People, I'm not the one saying it's General. General, please. Atishani.
So the whole thing starts rotting from the top. The president has got the presidency has gone crazy. No wonder the Inspector General is the Commissioner General of the prisons is going crazy. No wonder Katongo is a liar. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Because the police have got no right to detain people indefinitely. No.
Because they're investigating. That is just not true.
No.
That is just not true.
No. That's why I can't wait. I can't wait for the 7th. I'm counting down every day. I can't wait for a day when we'll wake up, the results announced, and that we have a new president in the name of a church.
Right.
And I think he's right. There will be a smell of fresh air that day. Because this is not a normal government. This is not normal.
No. So we appeal to the police high command. Stop lying and release this young woman from Kitwe. Now, we understand that she has a very confusing temperament, but having a very hot, confusing temperament is not reason for detention at all.
No.
Or calling people idiots. It's not a reason to detain somebody. Umusalula is not illegal in our country. It's not illegal in our country. The police cannot be involving themselves in private dispute among citizens. If Kopalalaga said something against someone, to the local court, so that they are the ones who preside. this idea of involving and abusing police resources.
And whatever she said to this very, very special person, it doesn't make sense to me. How special is this? How special is this person that you need the whole police to transport somebody from Kitwe because somebody has been offended? Go to court.
Imagine.
Kashte Simon, Kagule Simon, Wagule Simon. That's all you need to do. No need to involve the police.
I agree, General. Imagine.
Exactly.
So then what is the state of this individual? This is a state that has been captured by, I don't know whether it's top powers, bottom powers, sideway powers, or whatever it is. The state is under capture. How do you explain it? Somebody offends in Kitwe. They drive her overnight. Is it overnight? From Kitwe to detain her at Kabwata. And now this is the 7th day. This is not right. This is not right. Was she about to spill the beans? What is it? What is so complicated? People, socialites lie a lot. Socialite, be it the celebrity lifestyle, is a life of lies. Be it Kim Kardashian. General Kim Kardashian. I don't know.
I also don't know him.
But I do understand that they brush themselves up. If we're General Tulemoneka for origin, right? Avena Kim Kardashian.
Me, I went with this shirt for a walk, so I'm not a socialite. So,
yeah. So if you were a socialite, General, everything will be cosmetic. Imwe General, even your hair will dye it to make it appear black. Eh? No kumipanga panga gwino. General, if you are a celebrity, you'll be surprised.
Well,
and how artificial your life will be.
I would rather remain the Chipakupaku boy, son of Mumba boy, normal, with the gray hair and the gray beard, and who tells things straight as I do.
So we understand, General, then, that this Kopala girl, because Naena Kwati Amano Kwate, so she says when she went and associated with this celebrity, she realized that this celebrity is actually a liar. So now she wants to spill the beans. That's how now the police are involved. They want to prevent Kopala girl from spilling the beans about this celebrity. And now they've arrested her. 6 days now, General.
I wouldn't be surprised, because I remember a few months ago, once socialite said was going to turn Zambia upside down. The whole country waited for hours and hours and hours and hours. Me, I kept on checking the map of Zambia and saying, look, probably it is going upside down. It never happened. So I don't believe in such people myself. Personally,
General,
I don't.
From bottom up and from up to bottom. For
yeah,
sure.
It was going to be Southern Province was going to be the new Northern Province. and Southern Province was going to be the new Northern Province, and then the Southern Province, the Northern Province was going to be the Southern Province, and the Eastern Province was going to be changed to Western Province. So, but it never happened. So I don't trust people like that.
General,
and I remember some socialite also appearing with a new vehicle and saying it was a gift. No, so it's a waste of time. Why should the police be involved in protecting such people? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
If the socialite, whatever his or her name is, you are offended, go to court. And go court, you can put a Simon. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
Meet each other in court.
That's true. Now, General, for a few years now, the Ministry of Health, General, I want you to get me very, very well. I don't want, no, I'm misunderstanding you. The line is not clear. No, General. The Ministry of Health has been promising jobs to healthcare workers for years. President Lungu himself last year announced that they were going to hire 3,000 healthcare workers. I want you to follow me very well, General. So they hired some doctors. Now, these doctors are known as junior doctors. So before you become a top doctor, there is a climbing ladder that is known as a resident doctor, which is also known as a junior doctor. Junior doctors are the most abused doctors in the system. They are mostly least paid. They have no clout. So they can be, anywhere. But what happened was that these junior doctors have not been paid their money, General.
Yeah.
So they decided to go on a go slow. Now, it's not a strike. It's known as a go slow. It's a go slow because health personnel cannot just strike outrightly. So they do have a certain recourse, which is known as a go slow, in order to push the government to act on the numerous promises that the government has been making over years. General, what do you think?
The Residents Doctors Association is trying to speak for their doctors who are really, according to what I hear, are really going through hell, because the government is not delivering on their promises, as you said.
Right.
And when you are aggrieved as a worker, you go to the employer and say, let's talk. We have these issues here.
Right.
It looks like the Ministry of Health is not listening.
Right.
They're not listening.
Now, General, you're saying they're not listening as if it's now.
No,
this
has been going on for a long time.
Different verb there. They're not listening as if nidelo.
No.
This is the verb. They have not been listening.
Exactly. They have not been listening for years. And instead of them listening, they're now threatening the doctors.
General, it's not even beyond threats now. Tonight, we can report to our viewers that Inspector General Kanganja has sent a battalion of armed soldiers. Did I say soldiers? General will be angry if I say soldiers. Armed police to go and arrest junior doctors from their homes. Some were drinking and watching football. They took them from their football. They took them from the clinics. They took them from the hospitals. And right now, they've been arrested.
It's madness. In fact, they started by canceling the license of the president of Residents Doctors Association.
Now,
Munsha, you are a lawyer,
right?
When the lawyer steals from a client, it's the law association which withdraws the license. And I think it happened to one lawyer in Zambia some years ago.
No, when a doctor, I don't know about which lawyer in Zambia.
A lawyer who was suspended and the license withdrawn. Somebody who stole money from a client. We all know him. It's very.
Am I the only one who doesn't know him?
Well, his name is Edgar Chagwa Lungu, a former lawyer, a lawyer of Masie, Andrea Masie. He stole money from a client, and Law Association, the record is there, withdrew his license.
All right, continue, General.
Now, when you want to withdraw a license of a doctor, it's supposed to be the Medical Association of Zambia.
No. I think we've got to bring in Mr. Kanika here. General, I think I've got to bring in Mr. Kanika. Mr. Kanika is our resident pharmacist, but beyond being a pharmacist, he knows the HPCZ Act very well. I'm a regulatory lawyer as well, so I'm going to dish out the information that I know. But we've got to let Mr. Kanika clarify for us. Mr. Kanika, welcome.
Thank you, Council Elias, and thank you, Mr. Norman. How are you? And good evening, the viewers.
Good evening,
so now tell us, the SPCZ, the Health Council of Zambia is the regulator of all medical personnel. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
So they regulate you as well as a pharmacist?
Yes, they regulate me. Apart from the only health profession that is not regulated by them are the nurses. But all of
Okay.
us, the remaining, we are regulated by Health Professions Council of Zambia.
Now they are claiming to have suspended the license of Dr. Mwaba. Tell us
Yeah,
more about that.
yeah, they are saying they have suspended the license for Dr. Sampa,
Sampa.
the president for Resident Doctors Association.
Right.
I think in the way Health Professions Council of Zambia has conducted itself, I think it's a very big embarrassment actually to all of us, the health professionals, because before your license is suspended, first you need to be summoned. And once you have been summoned, you explain yourself
Right.
why you feel your action should not result in your license to be suspended. There is no any outright way in terms of suspending your license. In whatever the case, you need to be aid first. Then once
Right.
you are aid, then they are going to like respond to you according to the findings that have been done. So it's very much
Right.
shocking to hear that on Friday, should be around 20 hours,
Right.
they call the president for Resident Doctors Association to say your license has been suspended. How do you suspend a license for someone just by a phone call? And moreover, HPC does not operate from around midnight or whatever time. They operate
Right.
from 8 hours to 17 hours. These are the issues that resulted in Zamra finding itself in a problem of giving a license on a Sunday while they don't operate on a Sunday.
Right.
So there's a big problem. For me, I say there's a lot of incompetence at the Health Professions Council of Zambia, because the same institution, the institution that has allowed someone who was shown to be partisan in the way they execute duties by them applying for an adoption in Ubansenshi, well, after being adopted and 2 days later, well, the adoption was revoked, they decide to go back at Health Professions Council of Zambia and start working. Where on earth does such kind of a person be allowed to work in a civil service which has said it is non-partisan? So
Right.
instead of the competency, instead of working or sorting out the problem that is there in their own institution, they bring their confusion and incompetency to these doctors who have a labor matter with the government,
Right.
their employers. It
Right.
is not any professional misconduct by demanding for money that you have worked for. You see,
Right.
we had doctors who were employed by government and they worked for about 6 months without any pay. And instead of government paying the arrears, long time what used to happen, even me when I was working for the government, when we started, we would have stayed maybe for 3-4 months without getting paid. But after that, you are going to be paid, including all your arrears, according to the time
Right.
you have served in government. But now,
Right.
what happened this time is they allowed these doctors to work, and they worked for 6 months. Then, after working, instead of paying them the arrears for the number of months they have worked, they have just said, no, we will be paying you according to this month which you have started paying. You will not count the months you have worked for, which is
Right.
against
Right.
which is against public service, the commission or way of working. Then again, when you check, these doctors are requesting to say, we have our colleagues or our doctors, about 500 of them, who are not yet employed. And in the Health Professions Council Act, there is an issue of internship, and it is still stated that in the internship there, the government of the Republic of Zambia will be the one to provide the internship centers for doctors And after
Right.
internship, that's when now you go on and be or join any private institution. As things may be right now for doctors, you cannot join any private institution immediately you graduate, because in the Health Professions Act, it bars you to do that. It's the Health Professions Council of Zambia that's supposed to give that facility or a certain facility an internship site for them to be training the doctors on internship. So
Wow.
what that means is, once all the doctors graduate, they need to be employed by government as interns or are junior doctors or resident junior doctors. Then once they do that, after you work for 1 year, 6
Right.
months, then you have been moved to a senior resident, a doctor. From there, then you
Right.
can go and do upgrade and do your masters and other studies. But as things may be, even up to today, for them to demand for the 500 positions, it is for them to say we need to move on from where we
So,
are as
so what you were saying is that what these doctors are doing, what the Resident Doctors Association of Zambia is doing, it's actually to help benefit the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, what the resident doctors are doing, it's
Right. Yeah.
about helping the people of Zambia by making sure that many doctors are employed to
Mm-hmm.
help reduce the burden of the already shortfall of the doctors. So they are not doing anything on a selfish gain or someone trying to get political or
Right.
popularity kind of things. No, it's about crying for the Zambian people to say, look, we are overwhelmed with work. We want our colleagues who have graduated from school to be employed so that
Right.
the burden that we have can be reduced. That's what they are doing. And that's what they are asking for. And moreover, they are saying the way it is, you cannot just go on and you cannot not just go on and create new positions. Why can't you create also the position for these people who are finishing internship to
Right.
go on a higher position of senior resident medical officer, so that
Right.
they leave space for those who are graduating? You see?
Now,
So
now I think the government has been saying that they have opened up spaces, there is money budgeted for health. Where does that money go? Now, I know, Mr. Kanika, you are licensed by HPC. We don't want to put you in trouble. But
Mm-hmm.
where does that money go? I don't understand. Where does that money go?
Look, I think that's where the issue is, and these are the questions that I tell the Zambians also to be asking some of these, just like I keep saying, to say, look, we are
Right.
told to say that we have put about 1.5 billion or 1.5 billion in terms of the drug budgeting, but when you go to the hospitals, there are no drugs. So now the question that need to ask is, from
Right.
January up to date, there are no drugs in the hospitals. Where is the money that we budgeted for in terms of the procurement of the drugs? Where is the money gone? So that's what the Zambian people are supposed to be asking, to say, where is the money going? And if we are not paying these health workers who are saying we need to employ, or we need our money that we have worked for, then who has taken the money? So those are some of the questions that all of us as citizens in this country, we are
Need
supposed
to
to
be
ask
asking.
our government.
General Paco,
I
tell me,
I
where is the
believe
money?
I believe there's a serious problem at the Ministry of Health.
Okay,
I
now
believe
you see,
a lot of
we can't just say that. There is a serious problem everywhere because it's not just Ministry of Health. Go ahead, General. Sorry to cut you.
yeah, there is a problem at the Ministry of Health. There is a serious problem at the Ministry of Health. And I think most of this money has now been diverted to other things to fund probably elections, but most of it is also going to the pockets of individuals. The Ministry of Health at the moment is one of the most corrupt ministries in Zambia. That's why some of the donors have pulled out. That's what some of the donors have given very strict conditions on their money. I think we have got a very, very big problem.
Okay.
And at the timing again, PF is shooting itself in the foot. Because you cannot wake up and arrest doctors when you've got COVID. You've got COVID, and then you go and wake up and arrest doctors and suspend the license of the president of the Resident Doctors Association. And what will happen? This will now become a strike. They will declare a strike, and if they declare a strike, it means we'll have more problems. And
General, do you think that their demands are out of this world? Do you think these are selfish doctors who are paid very well?
No.
No, let me come in there. There.
Go ahead, Jeremy. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, we should compare what our doctors get with what other doctors get in the SADC region. And you discover that even in the payment of the salaries, our doctors are not that well kept. They are poorly kept. So there is nothing that they are well paid. No, that's not true. And moreover, one of the executive members who were arrested today by the police by the name of Dr. Mukula Chikonde has been charged with espionage, council.
Espionage.
Yes,
Espionage.
Yes, that's
What?
the case.
Espionage?
What? He has been transferred from Ndola to Lusaka, as we are speaking right now. So you wonder to say, what kind of the case, or what kind of the law which they break by them demanding for something that that belongs to them, or something that they want to help the people of Zambia. Because what they are demanding for more doctors to be employed, so that more areas where there are no doctors can also be serviced by the doctors. But now you catch someone, and the person you have got, you charge them with such kind of a case that is non-bearable. And there are about other 10 doctors who have been where who have been whom the police are looking for. Actually, they are running away. They can't even tomorrow. I don't think so they'll be able to go for work. So this is what is happening. Well, the matter is simple and straightforward.
Wow.
No, so now, starting from all these murders in Kitwe and Kabwe, gassing, and now we come to this thing of arresting medical doctors and charging them with very serious offenses of espionage.
Espionage,
which is quite a serious offense.
Yeah, espionage is a serious offense. What have they spied on Lulu? Because espionage basically means you are spying on your state, on your country. How can a doctor spy on the state?
No, maybe in the direct state treat to Muntu more. I don't know about spy on Katwish.
How can a doctor spy on the state? It's crazy. It's I'm finding it very, very difficult, because every day this PF government is leading to more problems and more chaos. If it's true that we've got the Indian variant of COVID, this is risking our people dying.
Right. They don't care.
They don't care. They really don't care.
Yeah.
Before we go further, it simply means this government is not serious. I mean, do you know that there was supposed to be a rally, a launch of the UPND campaign in Kitwe yesterday? Do you know what happened in the morning? Do you know what happened in the morning?
No.
They deployed hundreds of policemen, armed policemen, with those big things. What do you call them again, Musha? The blue ones.
Fimandamanda.
They went there as early as 4 o'clock in the morning. What for? And those people were there in the code. This is May. The policemen were there deployed at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure that they stop anybody having a rally. So why are we complicating the lives of our country, of our people? Why? So there's chaos with the police. There's a threat from Madam, the spokesperson. She's threatening everybody today. The doctors are running away. What are we doing?
And being charged with espionage.
Yeah, that's a serious offense.
So now we're going to bring a medical doctor or one of the members who is going to be courageous enough to speak to us tomorrow. Hopefully we can talk to them and find out. Now, Brother Jerome Kanika, do you know the relationship between the resident doctors and the Zambian Medical Association? I know that the Zambian Medical Association is like an umbrella body, right?
Okay. What the Zambia Medical Association, it is an association that deals with on the professional matters.
Okay.
Then the Resident Doctors Association, it is again an association that deals like with labor matters. When you read,
okay.
You see, I took some time to read through their constitution, and when you read through their constitution, the Resident Doctors Association, it will definitely indicate to you that their constitutions empowers them to discuss issues pertaining to about the condition of service for their members, and this is what they are doing. And moreover, today the statement that was issued by the police IG, where he was saying that whoever is communicating with Dr. Sampa, whether a Zoom meeting or whatever kind of form, it means that they will be arrested also. Let me say, and they said, no, Dr. Sampa cannot handle anything, even on the profession, on the Resident Doctors Association as a president. When you read their act, or sorry, their constitution, it doesn't say that someone need to be, for someone to be a president need to be employed or be licensed by Health Professions Council of Zambia. No. Even without that license, provided you are just a medical doctor, you can be the president. So Dr. Sampa is still the president for Resident Doctors Association, according to their constitution. So it was very wrong, again, for Health Professions Council of Zambia to misdirect the police by saying that since this one we have suspended this license, then he cannot be the president. No, that's not what their act talks about. Their acts, sorry, that's not what their constitution talks about. Their constitution says, provided you have been elected and you're a medical doctor, you can be the president. So that statement from again the police IG was again a misdirected statement somehow by the way they have been misguided by Health Professions Council of Zambia. The institution that has brought all this confusion, it is Health Professions Council of Zambia. The matter for Resident Doctors Association, which they are demanding for, we are straightforward. And it was just the matter of sitting on a round table and discuss and find the way forward about what they were demanding.
And the thing is, they've been discussing, Jeremy, they've been discussing for years.
Yeah, that's a challenge. You see, some time back, I was asking to say, those people who claim to say, look, we have employed 25,000 health workers. I asked a simple question. Can you give us statistics on who are those people who have been employed? Because without statistics on the professions that have been employed, then that just remains to be just a lip service. Me have disputed the issue of employing 25,000 health workers because our health facilities still have serious shortages of health personnel, and some facilities, they even fail to go 24 hours because of shortages of health workers. So now you wonder to say, if people are saying we have employed 25,000, who are those 25,000? Give us statistics to say we have employed this number of nurses, we have employed this number of doctors, We have imposed these numbers of pharmacies. When you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's giving you 25,000, but they can't do that. So where is the 25,000?
It's medical personnel ba Mutumba. It's only them. Number
If there's
where is the 25,000? That papa. Patumba. You know, these are not serious people.
Musha,
General,
if there's any ministry which will need to be investigated when the new government comes in, the Ministry of Health, they will need to be investigated, because I think there is there's chaos everywhere. There's confusion everywhere.
Now we want to appeal to the Inspector General of Police. Just be reasonable. Stop arresting medical doctors. Stop threatening them. Stop this thing of saying that the Mr. Sampa cannot address his members through Zoom. That is just a lie. That you are making up things, and it is just a lie. The law, Zambian law, does not stop Dr. Sampa from communicating with his members. And so we are disappointed, completely disappointed in the behavior of the Zambia police. But do you think the Zambia police is making all these mistakes? What is going on? Who is behind all this, General? I don't understand. I'm frustrated.
Lulu is behind all this. The confusion starts from State House.
Right.
The whole problem here is that we've got a president who lost control. We have state capture everywhere.
All right.
So
to the medical doctors and other personnel, please understand that we, as the people of Zambia, are behind you. Isn't it?
Exactly. We need doctors now more than ever before. Because if we are hit, if the numbers continue rising on corona, Mr. Lungu is not going to treat people. We need these doctors more now.
Isn't he a doctor?
If there was anything, this government was supposed to prioritize the doctors, pay them so that they can bring the next lot of those who are queuing, so that we've got more people to handle.
Is Dr. Lungu a doctor?
No, he's not a doctor. That is a fake doctorate they gave him. He's not a doctor.
He's a doctor.
No, he's not a doctor. He is Mr. Lungu, as far as I'm concerned.
So the government says it's broke. It does not have money to pay the doctors. What do you say about that?
Okay, on the money to pay the doctors, I think that's another maybe debate, but I don't think so if that's very true. Seeing how much money has been splashed out by the so-called cadres of the ruling party, you can say that there is money that the government has, but giving only to the wrong people. So in that situation, no one can believe such kind of talks. And moreover, Misha, these are the people who are saying or asking the government to say, look, we want you to employ us so that we can sort out or help out in terms of the numbers of even COVID that you are mentioning. For the past 5 days, when you check the numbers of COVID, the minimum should be about now 300. The cases have started going up. And these people, they come into day-to-day contact with these COVID patients. So if they are saying to say, we are overwhelmed, we are tired, can we employ our colleagues? Then you start sending the police on them. Then you start withdrawing their licenses. That's not the way it's supposed to be. For me, that's what I feel should not be the case. But it's the matter of putting a purity to these people.
Right.
Musha.
We know that Valungu is completely loaded. We are asking Dr. Lungu. Babule Pwaka no. and pay medical doctors. Naka problem nishi, it's solved. It's a very simple problem. Babule fiolu pia. Because he has money. If you're bad
But Musha, if he can get 14 million to pay artists to sing his songs for him, which is more important, doctors or Mark II? 14 million would have gone a long way.
Mark II is important. Therefore,
to me, that's why there's something. That's why there's something called prioritizing. What is more important is Mark II or the doctors? To me, the doctors are more important.
Okay, so depending on bandwidth here, I'm going to bring as many people as possible onto our platform right now. We have 5 minutes to conclude, and so we're going to get their reactions. So Timmy H, are you a medical personnel?
No, I got nothing to do with the medical profession. I don't have any idea. The only thing that I know is just self-remedy every time I get sick. But it's for personal use. I'm not a medical profession. I've never been and I'll never be. However, I pay tribute and great respect to the people in that profession. I hold them in high esteem, and it's unfortunate that they're undergoing these ordeals with the current regime in Zambia at the moment. Yeah.
Right. And so what message do you have for our doctors?
Take heart. That's the first thing I'm saying to you. August 12th is not far. When that day comes, please don't go under any sort of spell, the bait of having sympathy from the current regime. This started from the time of 80s. There's something that we should have involved over the long scale of time, but it keeps reappearing. It keeps coming back and forth. You know the reason why? Because no one has ever taken time to Comrade Norman has stated to say the Ministry of Health itself needs to get clarity when the new regime steps in August 12th.
Thank you.
I can say thank you so much, and greetings to Comrade, and greetings to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We've got Frank. Frank, you work for the hospital. What is your comment?
I can't believe it. And we talk about the time that we're living in with COVID. It's almost like it's a deliberate attack, almost like let's attack these people and take them out from doing the job that they're doing. And I think at the moment, the PF, they've got no plan. They've got no economic plan for the country. They've got no other plans for the country. And the only way they think they can win the elections is by bullying people. That's the only way they think they can win the election. They've got no plan for the country. They've got no economic plan. They've got no health plan for the country.
Yeah.
We spoke about having medication in hospital, and they talk about they put aside 1-point-something billion. Wow, they could have just told us they've put outside 1-point-something billion, and they didn't put it because they didn't tell us. And like they said, we employed 25,000. They didn't explain where they employed their 25,000, and people can't see them. So there's no plan, and they've just picked a fight. It's a government now has picked a fight on its citizens.
Right. That's Brian Impande.
Yes, Uncle Musha and General Shipakupaku, how are you?
Good evening. Good evening. How are you doing?
We are great. We are great. It's really a very sad story. And, doctors are one of the, previously, every child when they are born would dream to become a doctor. When you are born as a child, your parents would want you to become a doctor because it used to be one of the prestigious profession that requires you to have passion. And these are people who've gone to school for 7 years, for 7 good years. Imagine going to school for 7 years and you graduate expecting that now is the time for us to reap, the suffering and get employed, and yet you go months and months and years without being employed. I think that is very sad. Again, coming to the issue of the police inspector general starting to arrest and threatening these people. That is very, very, very unfortunate, because look, these are the people that are supposed to be in hospitals helping, and yet they want to be arrested. The police should not do things to impress politicians. HPCZ should also not try to pull a quick one so that they impress, the politicians. Because they let them remain professional and do their work professionally. This is a body that has been engaging government about their plight. They're not asking for too much. They're only asking, for the health, body, or for the medical facilities to be staffed. We have shortages of doctors, and we have them roaming around the street, and yet people are just saying, can you employ us? Pay us what we've worked for. And yet you arrest someone for that. No, that's not right. That's not right. We are not going to accept that. And we demand those doctors to be released so that they go and provide the much needed service that the country needs. We can't allow that.
Over to you, Musha. No, it's not there. Okay. Now, I think we're in trouble. It looks like
Thank you.
To
we
me,
echo those sentiments together with my co-presenter, Mr.
Well,
yeah, it looks like we are very unstable. We are very unstable internet today. Thank you very much for joining us. Please send us stars. Send some stars to TV Bakwe too, as always. So just go to where it says stars. Buy stars from Facebook and then send them to us. Thank you very much for joining us. To the team that is with us here today, please stay on while we. Please don't go. Stay on. And thank you, Mr. Jerome Kanika. Thanks, Mr. Kanika, our resident pharmacist. General, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was saying, I just wanted to remind our viewers that Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, we have Dr. Msoko Tuane on the debt, Zambia's debt and how to handle it. The line is bad today.
On Wednesday,
sorry,
yes.
Viewers. Wednesday, Dr. Msoko Tuane, Stumbeko, is coming to talk about debt and how the UPND plans to handle the debt situation. The line is not very good, Musha, today, but all the same, thank you so much to all our viewers tonight, and good night from Scotland. Over to you, Musha.
All right.